Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Raider Roster Report. This is Raider Sparks. Wanted to come on tonight now that we've had the press conference and the official announcement of Dave Ziegler as our GM and Josh McDaniels as our new head coach. Wanted to come on and kind of give my thoughts and opinions. Yeah, usually on the channel here, we just concentrate on developing the roster, talking about new prospects, free agents, kind of how the team's doing as a whole, things like that. But just wanted to share my thoughts because this is two huge moves. Probably the biggest moves we could make for this organization is who's gonna run it, who's gonna lead us, that type of thing. So these are huge moves. So I just want to kind of come on and share my thoughts about it, and then we'll kind of move on from there. And hope the best for these two guys, Daniels and Ziegler. I know they've been longtime friends from back in the college days, so. They've probably been planning this for a long time to be the head of an organization, and so I'm sure some dreams come true type of thing. So congratulations to these guys, and a lifelong Raider fan myself. I wish them all the best. Hope everything goes well, and they bring us many Super Bowls as they've won. Obviously McDaniels has won 6 Super Bowls, so he's got the hardware and the rings to show what he's done in this league as a offensive coordinator and that type of thing. But definitely wanted to get into it a little bit further. I've been a little bit boisterous on the channel here about Mayock. I thought he should have stayed and been given another chance to see what he could do in the draft. I understand the misses on the first round picks, but I think as a whole, if you look at it, a lot of the moves he did make brought a lot of talent, and he kind of got acknowledged a little bit today with Mark Davis and kind of the roster and the way it is and that type of thing. But I'll be quite honest with you, this is not the pair and the combination that I wanted for the team, and I still am not too thrilled with the hire, to be honest with you. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I think if I was Vegas, I'd set the over-under on McDaniels for sure at a year and a half to be with the organization. We're going to be right back here again. I hope I'm wrong. But that's his track record, so, I mean, that's kind of what you would go off of, and look at the disciples from the Belichick tree. It's not good, and a lot of people say it's not good because coaches went to bad organizations, and I just don't understand that argument at all. That's why they're hiring a new coach, and a GM is typically because they're not good. But a good coach or a good GM would turn it around, and none of the coaches that were from the Belichick era or whatnot did anything at all. But I really wanted to focus on and hold my thoughts till I heard them speak. And when I heard them speak today, my opinions changed a little bit, not much. I heard a lot of Raider Nation today. A lot of people were really on board and all in and think this is a good move and everything else. I'm not so much there, just because the conversation, the press conference I heard today was a little different than a lot of other people. I just heard a corporate spin job or sell job, a lot of key words, key corporate words, vision, all these types of words that you kind of use in a corporate setting that don't mean a lot. They're just kind of words right now. And so it's got almost like Mark Davis was given a sales pitch for 3 days and he bought into it. I know he said that he's been watching Josh McDaniels' career for a long time and how he liked him, which is cool, and how he liked his decision making and things like that, and how he's on the spot making clutch decisions, things like that. It was great. He's off X's and O's, no problem. He's phenomenal. I'm sure he is an awesome coordinator. He's got 6 rings to prove it. But a head coach, I don't know. I don't know if he's a leader of men, and I didn't really hear that in the press conference about his leadership. I know he said he learned lessons, but Mark Davis was asked why he hired him. And it was mainly because of the split decisions he could make on the sidelines. He liked that. He liked the Patriot way and the what happened to the Patriots organization. Nothing specific to him except, and this is the thing that I'm not sure about. It was the main point that Mark Davis made of why he hired Josh McDaniels was because of the way he worked with young quarterbacks. He worked with a young Tom Brady. He worked with a young Matt Castle, and he worked with a young or a rookie Mac Jones. He left out Jimmy G for some reason. I'm not sure why. But why in the world was that even part of the interview? I mean, we have a 8-year veteran quarterback who's looking to get paid as a top 10 player in the league, and we're talking about hiring a head coach primarily because of how he works with young quarterbacks. So that sort of seems odd to me. McDaniel said all the right things about Carr. I don't know if it was all spin or what. It seemed like there was a lot of spin, a lot of corporate jargon being used at this press conference. Ziegler came in. He was actually a completely like bad cop, good cop, saying, "Hey, I don't know. We gotta get to know the guy." So it was kind of a big spin job there. It was a negotiating tactic, or I'm not sure what that was. But Mark Davis said he was making the decision on Carr, and the decision seems like maybe it's already made. I mean, why in the world if Harbaugh's an option, who's a proven coach in this league, and Dodge is a sought-after GM, why wouldn't you go that direction? Why would you bring in a guy unless it is to bring a new quarterback? And he even said it. The reason why he brought in Josh McDaniels primarily was because of the way he worked with young quarterbacks. It just seemed awfully strange to me how that was done. So I don't know. I'm on the fence on this whole deal. I hope I'm wrong. And I'm open-minded. I'm obviously a big Raider fan. So I wish the best, and hopefully this goes awesome. And, we're back in the Super Bowl. But I'm definitely going to be watching the off-season moves, who they bring in as their offensive coordinators. And then what we do with the contracts. Obviously, Carr's contract, but some of the other guys too, like Renfro and Crosby. Are we going to start extending some guys, like giving some guaranteed money to some of these guys that we want to build around? Because right now, the salary cap, I guess, if I was a new coach and GM, it's beautiful. There's some dead money you could clear this year, and next year there's hardly anybody under contract, and there's like no dead money right now. It's just like a perfect situation if you wanted to totally clean house and just get your roster. And Ziegler did talk about that, you needed to build the roster from top to bottom. And how do you do that? A lot of it was through the draft, right? And Ziegler, I think, is a good hire. He just on his own. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, even though he's going to be a new GM, it seems like Mark Davis made a great point. Like, these guys at New England, I turn on the film or whatever, I turn on these games, I haven't even heard these guys, and they're like playing so good. It's like, where do they find these guys? So I think that's good, right? Up and down you can go through Ziegler's history or whatever, the Patriots' history, the draft picks, the free agents. It's good and bad. It's hit or miss. And like Mayock, good and bad, hit or miss. It's just Mayock's was so bad. It looks so bad because of the first round. You got to hit on your first round. So I totally understand that, where they're coming from with that. But to have two college buddies together, and one of them being a head coach before and failed because he couldn't relate to players. So how's that dynamic going to work? I know Ziegler's going to act like he's the hammer in the deal, but he's not. I think everybody knows it. Josh McDaniels is the decision maker on the personnel and everything else. They try to play it off that way. I think everybody knows that there's a difference there. So it's and they're boys, right? It's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works out. And again, I hope it does, but just definitely concerned with it. It wasn't my first choice, but I'll move on. Hopefully they do well. I'll definitely be watching this offseason. The coordinators are going to be cool. I like what McDaniels did have to say. It's a 4-3 base defense. This is how this was built. And he's not necessarily looking to change it up. And he basically was honest. He's like, 85% of the time we're nickel anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Four people on the line, 2 linebackers, and then 5 DBs. So, to me, that kind of gave you a hint of kind of what's going on. Obviously, Max and Yannick are 4-3 defensive ends. They're not 3-4 down linemen. That's not going to work with this team. So, obviously that was good to hear. And then, we'll probably change it a little bit. I would imagine we'll go to some more press man than zone concepts, and hopefully we blitz a little bit more, and maybe some more split safeties instead of just a free safety, and maybe get Mooring a little bit more involved. Alternate him and Tyree Gillespie a little bit more, and Abrams will probably fit in because a lot of times New England will go to one linebacker, so you bring him in for that kind of second linebacker, but actually a 6 DB, and so that could be a real good fit for the team as well. So some good stuff, some good ideas, I think, and I think it kind of leads into the draft as well. Like, looking for, he said explosion, dynamic players, explosion. So it tells me maybe on the receiver I was thinking of, maybe we're not going to get a big free agent name, but maybe in the draft we go for somebody more like Wandale from Kentucky instead. like Chris Olave, something like that. Some more dynamic, diverse receiver that can do multiple things, that type of thing. Traylon Burks would be great. He can do all of those things too. So maybe that's the pick, but just understand that most of the times the nickel, maybe we are going to look for a press cornerback. I mean, we have Mullen. Obviously, Casey Hayward would be coming back in that situation. So I think I'm focused a lot more now on the for the first round, especially in the cornerback position, a lockdown press man cornerback. I think might be the way to go. Might be exactly what we need for this team if we're going to the press man, which I think New England was more press man than anything. So I would think that would probably be the case. But anyway, so that was sort of some insight that I got that maybe some draft type of thing. A little strange. I didn't see a lot of outpour from the team itself. I mean, Josh Jacobs sent out like a frown emoji, and that could be for the hire or just the fact that he's bummed that Coach B's gone, or maybe he knows he's not going to be big payday with the Raiders because New England, I don't think has ever really paid their running backs. So I'm not sure what that was all about, but I think Carr sent something out like, let's get to work. And then Illuminar did send something out, basically say, hey, give it a chance. You all will love the outcome. Trust me. So that was a guy that actually played for these guys in 2019 and 2020. So that was good to see. But other than that, I haven't really seen much from the players and outpour support or anything like that. So I haven't really noticed that too much. So. But anyways, just wanted to come on and give my thoughts about it. I don't know what's going on. If Carr's truly, they said all the right things, but it's just odd that Davis would make it a point to talk about Josh McDaniels and how he's worked with young quarterbacks. In fact, give 3 different examples of it. I thought that was just kind of strange. I was kind of wondering what's going to happen with that. And Ziegler was definitely coy about it a little bit, saying, hey, we got to get to know Carr. We got to get to know Carr's skills, how he can translate to our offense, and how we can use him in our offense, that type of thing. So I just thought it was kind of strange like that. And I just hope these guys commit to some of our guys. I want to get some guys signed so we can really have a solid plan going into 2 years from now when the Super Bowl's in Vegas. And hopefully that's the plan. We get some guys under contract for a little longer, the guys that we want to work around and develop and commit to. I think that would be an important step for this organization to commit to some players for some longer terms than we have before. But that's it. Just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on it. I really hope it pans out. I mean, it's definitely concerning with McDaniels' history as a coach, and he was pretty open and honest about it. I thought I liked that, about sort of showing like, hey, kind of acknowledging the fact that he didn't do so great and kind of just why he learned from it. But just there was so much corporate jargon being used and thrown around, it just kind of seemed a little too staged for me, the press conference itself. But I understand you want to be kind of button up and put on a good image, so. You know what? I'll reserve further judgment for now. I think I made it clear where I stood with the hire. Hopefully the best for these guys. Hopefully they get our organization going in the right direction. Obviously build on what we had. We were in the playoffs, so let's keep that going and just build off of it and see what we can do. And definitely, the first move with the personnel is going to be, it has to be Carr, right? I mean, we got to know if he's our quarterback for the long term, or if we're going to completely just break it down, take draft picks, and stock the roster. One of those two things will happen, right? I mean, there's really no in between. Either you extend Carr because he's not playing for $19 million next year. There's no agent in the world that will let Derek Carr play for $19 million with no guaranteed money. So that's not going to happen. The whole thought of drafting a quarterback and letting him learn from Carr and letting him go the next year, that's not going to happen. Either Carr is going to be here for the long term, or Carr is being traded and we are restocking the roster. One of those two things, and we should hopefully know soon enough. Anyways, that's all I got, Raider Nation. Please like, subscribe, share, make comments. Definitely want to hear what everybody's got to say. And until next time I'll probably talk about the upcoming East West Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl as well. Some real good prospects. Oh, some good prospects that came out of the NFLPA Bowl too that I got to get a video out on too. There's some really good prospects that showed up there, that some guys I like for Raider Nation. So we'll put some more draft content together. I think now just they give a little highlight maybe about kind of the receiver they're looking for, and also the need for the DBs and the cornerback. I think is going to be huge for the draft. So anyways, that's all I got, and have a good one.